Hello, 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 and thank you once again for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to make not one but two delicious dishes. The first is a Moroccan carrot soup, and the second is an Algerian inspired stuffed bread. So grab everything that you need, look at the list below, and join me in your kitchen. So first off, we are going to start our soup, and because we don't use oil, we're just going to put a tiny bit of veggie broth into a pot, whack in our onions, and then put them onto a medium-high heat until they are nice and brown. Next, add your garlic, your ginger, and all of your spices, and stir it around, making sure to coat those onions. Once your onions are coated generously, pop in your potatoes, carrots, and your apples. Yes, apples, and add the rest of that veggie broth. We're going to leave this on the stove for a while, bringing it to a boil and then reducing to a medium heat. In the meantime, get some semolina flour, a little bit of tapioca, and some salt, and mix it all up with a fork, making sure to separate all of the tapioca, or if you want to use cornstarch or arrowroot powder, that's cool too. Next, we're going to add some applesauce, just to keep it a little bit more moist as we're not using oil, and then some water. Now add as much water as you need for the dough to come together. And make sure to add a little bit at a time so that you don't make a soggy dough. I used about three quarters of a cup, yeah. So first you're going to mix it up with a fork, making a crumbly sort of texture, and then get stuck in with your hands, pinching and pulling the dough together and adding water as you need so that it's sticky but not runny. Yeah. You don't want a mud pie, you want clay, I think. Anyway, start getting involved and adding water as you go, making sure that your dough comes together nicely. And this should take about like 7 minutes or so for your dough to become nice and elastic. So find a nice surface, adding water as you need. As you can see, my dough keeps on splitting apart. You can see semolina flying off in all directions. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water just to give it that little bit of stick. And the cool thing is, especially if you're diabetic or if you are wanting to lose weight or just become more insulin sensitive in general and have a healthier lifestyle, semolina flour is amazeballs because it has less than a gram of fat in it, and it is a super great source of fiber and protein. Okay, so we're going to divide our semolina dough into 6 little balls, and we're going to cover with a tea towel and set that aside for about half an hour. Next, coming back to our soup, your veggies should be super soft. So you're going to pop it into a blender. You might need to blend it in portions depending on how big or powerful your blender is. So just separate it up. We're going to whack it back into the pot anyway at the end. So yeah, making sure that you blend it until it is a super smooth puree. And our apple and our potato is what gives it that thickness. You can also sub apple for celery if you would like. Next, we're going to whack it back in the pot and add some orange juice as well as a little bit of coconut milk. I know, weird, but it actually comes together. And then pack it back on the stove for a little bit just to warm it up. Now, coming back to our semolina dough, grab whatever you have. As you can see, I still do not have a rolling pin, but this metal bottle does the trick. Also, if it's filled with water, it makes it a little bit easier to roll. Anyway, roll it out, making sure that it's nice and thin. I should have spent a little bit more time on mine, making it super thin. But sometimes I really like a bit of a thicker pastry, so that's all right. And if I wanted it to look pretty, then what I would do is just cut off those raggedy ends. But I didn't really feel for doing that today because I wanted to just show you how to make an everyday stuffed semolina bread. So yeah. Then next, you're gonna whack your filling in. So you can use literally anything. I've made a spicy tomato, Algerian based kind of curried tomato deliciousness, just because we're going with North African vibes with our Moroccan soup. And easy peasy, you're just gonna fold the sides into each other, making an envelope. As you can see, mine does not look super pretty, but that's okay. We're going for flavor and for taste over looks. And anyway, it all goes down the same. But like I said, you can cut off the edges and it will look prettier. Next, we're going to whack these into the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until they're super brown. And we can start serving up our tasty meal. Now, because there's a lot of carrot and ginger, this is a great anti-inflammatory soup, so it will help with any of you who have any swelling. And you can serve it with a little bit of cranberries or pomegranates. I also like to add some cilantro to mine and some cashews for those healthy fats. By now, your bread should be done and you can just pop that in the side and enjoy. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see and leave some comments if you would like to see some more. Until next time.